Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's story? It's got horsepower, heart, and a whole lot of history. We're diving into something that's way more than just a win on the track. We're talking about the emotional, goosebump-inducing moment when Lizzy Musi's former No Prep Kings monster, Bonnie 2.0, crossed the finish line in victory, once again. Yes, you heard that right. Lizzy's legendary Camaro, Bonnie, just took home the win in the PDRA Pro Street class. But this isn't just about a race car taking another trophy. Oh no. This is about a legacy that refuses to quit, a machine with soul, and a tribute that speaks louder than any words ever could. Let's rewind a little. If you followed Street Outlaws, you already know how much Lizzy Musi meant to the drag racing world. She wasn't just one of the most fearless competitors on the No Prep Kings circuit, she was a game changer. The kind of racer that didn't just show up, but lit up the track and made people believe. Her talent? Undeniable. Her grit? Unmatched. And her story? Well, it still moves us. So when Lizzy tragically passed away in 2024 after a fierce battle with cancer, the loss echoed through every corner of the racing community. It wasn't just the end of a chapter, it felt like the end of an era. But something incredible happened this past weekend. Bonnie, the second-generation Camaro she raced with pride and power, just roared back to life. Now let's talk about the car itself. Bonnie 2.0 wasn't just a race car. It was purpose-built, lighter, faster, and more refined than its predecessor. Originally created to replace Aftershock, the fifth-gen Camaro Lizzy had campaigned before, Bonnie 1.0 was already a beast. But Bonnie 2.0? That was the evolution. The upgrade. The machine she'd take into the fire and emerge victorious with. And she did. Lizzy drove that car into the record books in No Prep Kings. She racked up wins, blazed past the competition, and made history, becoming one of the few racers to ever win 3 consecutive races in NPK. That's the kind of stat you frame and hang on the wall. That's rare air. We're talking about elite territory, right alongside names like Ryan Martin. But when Lizzy passed, the question hung in the air, what would happen to Bonnie? Would it disappear into a garage, never to race again? Would it get sold off, maybe even dismantled? Or worse, forgotten? Well, let me tell you, Bonnie wasn't done. Under the watchful eye of Pat Musi, Lizzy's legendary father, and now driven by Blake Denno, Bonnie 2.0 is still out there doing what she was built to do, win. And just yesterday, she did exactly that, dominating the PDRA Pro Street class in stunning fashion. Blake piloted the car like a pro, staying true to the legacy but also making his own mark. Now, here's the thing. Some folks might look at the times and say, wait, it only went 3.94? But let's break this down. That's a 3.94 second run on a much narrower, smaller tire than what you see in NPK, and that matters. You see, Pro Street racing is a whole different beast. Those 390s on a small tire? That's no joke. That's the kind of pass that gets respect in the pits. That's pushing the limits of physics on a slick and doing it with control and confidence. It's not just that the car is still fast. It's that the car is still competitive. Still dangerous. Still relevant. And above all, still alive. And let's be real, there's something almost poetic about that, isn't there? The car Lizzy poured her soul into is still breathing fire, still burning rubber, and still crossing finish lines. It's like she's out there with it, in every shift, in every burst of nitrous, in every checkered flag. And what's even more special? It's still under Musi Motorsports. Still tuned, prepped, and cared for by the same hands that helped Lizzy build her legacy. They didn't just hang it up. They kept it alive. And that's something worth celebrating. Of course, we'd all love to see Bonnie back in No Prep Kings, even with another driver behind the wheel. But for now, PDRA Pro Street seems like the perfect stage. A class that's tough, technical, and full of heavy hitters, and Bonnie's holding her own like a true champion. As for Bonnie 1.0, the original car, it was auctioned off a while back. Where it ended up, nobody seems to know for sure. But Bonnie 2.0? She's the one carrying the torch now, and she's doing it with pride. And look, when we talk about legacy cars, we're not just talking about fast steel and fiberglass. We're talking about history on wheels. Bonnie isn't just a machine. It's the culmination of decades of racing knowledge, family tradition, and emotional investment. Every nut and bolt in that car was part of Lizzie's journey. That steering wheel once carried her hands. That throttle once answered to her will. Now, someone else carries that torch, but the flame? That's still hers. It takes a lot of guts to step into a car like that, especially after it belonged to someone so iconic. But Blake Denno? Hats off to him. He did more than just drive it, he honored it. That win wasn't just about speed, it was about respect. He drove with composure, confidence, and clarity. You could see he wasn't trying to be Lizzie, he was there to continue her mission, to win, and to inspire. And we've got to talk about Pat Musi, too. Pat has been the backbone of this entire story. Not only is he one of the greatest engine builders and tuners in the game, but he's also a father who's carried the weight of personal loss with dignity and never let it stop him from doing what he loves. He's kept the Musi name alive not just for the family, but for the fans. For every young girl watching from the stands thinking, I want to be like Lizzie. The way this team has managed to keep it together, through all the heartbreak, the uncertainty, the whispers of maybe it's time to walk away, is nothing short of extraordinary. Every time Bonnie fires up, it's a reminder that you don't quit when things get hard. You dig in. You go back to the shop. You tune it again. You load up the trailer. And you race. And PDRA Pro Street? That's not a walk in the park. That class is brutal. You've got seasoned pros, hardcore setups, and cars that are dialed into the thousandth. Winning in that field means your program is on point. It means you're not just relying on the name or the story, you've got the performance to back it up. And that's exactly what Team Musi showed this weekend. But let's not forget the emotion. You could feel it in the air when Bonnie crossed that finish line. I'm talking chills down your spine kind of stuff. The cheers were louder. The celebration meant more. And behind every handshake and high five was the quiet understanding that this wasn't just a race, it was a tribute. A spiritual continuation of a racer's soul. And I've got to say, there's something poetic about Bonnie getting this win without even being an NPK anymore. It's like she's saying, I don't need the spotlight to shine. Whether it's the NPK stage or the PDRA battlefield, Bonnie proves she belongs anywhere there's competition. She's still a winner, no matter the banner flying overhead. I really hope this momentum continues. Imagine if Bonnie strings together a few more wins this season. Imagine seeing her make a championship run in Pro Street. That would be the kind of story you make a documentary about. And trust me, if it happens, you better believe we'll be right here talking about every inch of it. And honestly, this win should be a wake-up call to the racing world. Legacy doesn't have an expiration date. Whether it's behind the wheel, under the hood, or cheering from the stands, Lizzy Musi is still pushing the sport forward. She didn't just leave memories, she left a movement. And it's up to all of us to keep it going. So here's your call to action, friends. Keep supporting racers who race with heart. Keep honoring those we've lost by cheering louder for the ones still fighting. And most of all, keep sharing stories like this. Because racing isn't just about who crosses the finish line first. It's about why they cross it. And with Bonnie back in the winner's circle, Lizzie's why lives on.